Today's guest is Roy Coughlan, a serial entrepreneur who's founded 20 companies across 5 countries and now hosts 6 top-ranked podcasts. From rebuilding his life after massive setbacks to helping others find their voice through podcasting, Roy's story is all about resilience, truth, and transformation. Let's get to the show. This program is part of the Scene Project's podcast network. The Scene Project features interviews with independent musicians, comedians, and artists from across the Midwest. Become part of our community and support local art wherever you are. Well, welcome into another exciting episode of The Scene. I am your host, Bubba Starts, and with me today is Roy Coughlan. Roy, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me, Bubba.
From the other side of the world.
Yeah, I'm Irish, but I'm living in Łódź in Poland, so that's in the center of Poland.
Fantastic, man. Well, I appreciate you taking some time for us today. Quite the background that you have. So I'm going to give you the floor, let you tell us a little bit about yourself, and I think we're going to talk about some podcasts today.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, I'm kind of, I suppose, serial entrepreneur from a young age, washing cars and things like that. And at 11, newspapers, did that up to college. Then at 14, bought a lawnmower, started cutting grass, making money from that. Studied construction economics and management, did a diploma in that. Then started working for a mechanical contractor and worked my way up to contracts manager. Did another diploma in applied project management. Then I joined another company as a regional manager. And through all that, kind of dated a Polish girl and went across and saw property was cheap. And I had bought 3 properties in Ireland at that stage and set up a business, called it Pol Era, Pol for Polish, Era is the Irish for Ireland. And basically, built a lot of stuff. I built 30 apartments, done a lot of houses, probably 200 plus renovations, and everything was going well. And then the crash happened, and it took a while to come across the pond. I was doing good. I had 14 people on my books, and I was a small boy in a syndicate of a lot of different syndicates. Some of them were worth like 10 million plus, and they lost everything. And I thought it would come right. So I started putting money in, thinking, look, I'll charge you 10% interest. If you can't pay me, I'll increase my shareholding. Never thinking that everything would and in the end, the whole lot came tumbling down. And I know I'm going to get into the podcasting. I started podcast because it's all kind of related. Everything came tumbling down. And usually, as an entrepreneur, it's kind of like, lessons learned, let's start again. Nobody told me when you're the president of the company in Poland, you're personally liable. So I was personally liable for about $5 million. We're talking dollar terms. Yeah. And of course, all the other syndicate holders, they were looking after their own problems. So I was kind of left with the crying baby. Through that, had about 100 court cases, saw loads of corruption with courts, with bailiffs and everything. And then that kind of became my mission. Went to an event, A-Fest event, which is Mind Valley. And it was called What's Your Quest? And at that, I said, all right, I need to expose this. I don't, because unfortunately, some people throw in the towel. I said, I need to expose what's going on so that they understand it. And I did not like public speaking. Even though I was running massive jobs in Ireland, I had my own businesses. I'd had a lot of businesses, just didn't like it. But I knew to get my message out, I'd have to overcome that fear. So when I came back, I joined Toastmasters. I tell you how shy I was. I had to get 2 people to hold my hand to bring me there. And they were like, yeah, this is great, but we don't have time. And I was too shy to go back on my own. And what I did is there was a new club opened 2 months later. And I said, I'm just going. It has to be all new people. And I went there and they said, you're signing up? Yeah. Are you going to do a speech? Yeah. And I basically said yes for everything. I became distinguished Toastmaster after 3 years, which is kind of rare. And I was like, and done over 100 speeches for my own club, an entrepreneurs club in the morning. I was a coach for a Finnish club. I did an open comedy, open TEDx, and got into the final of 5 countries. So I went from one extreme to the next. But during that whole process, then I went to another event, and a guy outside of the event done a kind of workshop on podcasting. And I was like, ooh, this is interesting. And I said, I can do this. So the first one I did was speaking podcast. So because of the Toastmasters and knowing so many speakers around the world, because I went to Greece and stuff like that, I met loads of people. I had plenty of guests for the show, and that was the first one. Then I did meditation, because when I lost everything, meditation actually helped me in breath work. And I came across a 6-phase meditation, and it's kind of like what you're grateful for, because everybody's gone through their own battles in life. We all have them. Nothing's, when you think everything is great, you just get slapped into the head and it just changes. So we have to, and so being grateful, because no matter what you're doing, when you're grateful, you start attracting it instead of thinking the lack or, oh, I'll get bills. And when you're thinking of bills, what happens? The post comes, it's bills. So don't be thinking of that. And the other one is the act of forgiveness. So like when people, whether it's a business partner, a relationship, or somebody's hurt you, there's not really anger that you're holding and you're thinking about it. You might be able to sleep. So I said, I need to forgive these people, because I was doing massive developments, and even construction companies that caught me. And I was like, I need to forgive them. So some were easy and others weren't. And I wasn't able to forgive them. So what I did is I brought them back to the child. I said, we've unconditional love for a child. If you have a baby holding your finger or just looking at you, there's nothing better. It's beautiful. And I said, when they were born, they were free. They were without any badness in them. And it was external circumstances created who they were. And by doing that, I was able to forgive everybody. But what the thing is it actually frees it from you. So it no longer pains you when you're reliving the story or just thinking about it. So I'd encourage everybody, practice the act of forgiveness, and it's you benefit from it.
I just typed this up to some friends today. Obviously, yesterday, a tragic moment in the media world, the podcasting world, as Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and the hateful rhetoric that we've dealt with here in the United States. And hate's a parasite, and it ultimately kills the people that are in there. Whoever fired that weapon was so full of hate, their life is over now too. And they may be still breathing and living, but their life is no less completely done. And I think that, obviously it's the farthest extreme, but we can do that ourselves. And myself, I have a lot of hate and resentment that I've held a long time in my life. And through just recent conversations with some really brilliant people, and now yourself included, that hate isn't serving me, and it's not hurting the other person at all.
No, exactly. And, you mentioned Charlie. Just today, there was somebody, I don't know, I was on Instagram or something, and they were just putting out something nasty. And I've seen them, like, they're I don't care whether someone's left or right, because it's nothing to me, because I'm not there. But people hate. And I just saw when they were writing about something like that and just mocking them. And I just thought, that is so nasty, because we're talking about someone's life. And I just unsubscribe. And it's like, I don't want to give fuel to people as well that are pushing negativity. And it's like
so much of it now are they're bots. They're not even real human beings. These things are computers and algorithms that are trained to get that response from human beings. And unfortunately, there's so many people out there that are engaging with this on social media, not realizing that, right? And at this point, I've kind of, whether it's a real person behind there or not, if they're just spewing hate, like you said, unsubscribe. I don't want anything to do with you, and I don't want you putting any of that energy into my life. I'm too busy, Roy, as I'm sure you are as well.
And I suppose this is important, because there's a lot of creators out there, whether it's for music or something like that, and there's always hatred. And it's a case of if you actually accept it in. So what I do is, if it's not too bad, I just ignore it. And sometimes you wake up the next day and there's a big thread of people defending you and coming in and attacking that person, and they'll disappear. And the other thing is, report it or delete it. And unfortunately, what a lot of people do is they could get 99 beautiful comments, whether it's a musician and they're saying your music is brilliant and stuff like that, and they'll get someone that's just saying something horrible. They'll put their energy to that one person. And what I recommend everybody does is have a notebook, whether you print it off or whatever. And when you get that blues period or you get that negative person, because sometimes it does shake you when you see some of the comments. Some comments are just so nasty. You know there's something wrong with the person. No normal person does that. But just for yourself, and even if you're not getting that, just look at the beautiful comments. And it's just a nice thing. Have a little book or have it in an envelope when you need that moment to just look and feel the love instead of the hate.
Beautifully said, Roy. And I couldn't back you up more on that. We need to focus on love right now in this world. We have been so divided for so long. And, just because you're living in a foreign country doesn't mean that you're immune from it. What's happening in America is happening all over the world. And it is really a very few people who are pulling strings and making decisions to fuel that hate. And it really takes us all collectively as human beings to say, no, we're going to love each other and we are going to conquer these demons, right? By loving and not by hate and violence. It's not the answer.
No, exactly. And I mean, because of, I suppose, everything that goes on in the world, it's just every day you're like, what's next? It's true. Like I've had over 100 court cases. And what I did is I started studying sovereignty, common law, and stuff like that. And what I would say to everybody, even if you're an entrepreneur, but even if you're not, go away and learn that, because sometimes people think governments or cities have control over you, and we are way more powerful. And when you realize that, I've had so many people back off courts, bailiffs, everything, because I mean, I had accounts emptied, and I started going, how is this possible when they're fraudulent? I'm not wrong. I'm not doing anything nasty. And I started learning this, and I say to people, learn the power of your signature, because if they're writing to you, they're going Mr. Roy Coughlan or all capitals Roy Coughlan, and that's not me, it's the corporate entity, and it's too deep to go into that. But I would just say to people, just use that as a pet to just go in, okay, I'll spend a bit of time daily to just check this out or watch a few podcasts or something like that. And it's the best time you'll ever spend is understanding, because we were born free. And you can stay free when you don't listen to the crap that they're feeding us and pretending that they have control over us.
I also have spent a lot of time in a courtroom, Roy, for much different reasons, but I have had more success going in and defending myself than I ever had walking in with an attorney. And by just going and stating the truth. A lot of mine have been either, drug charge related from my younger years and in another life. But, now even more recently, we're actually helping a friend of ours who's battling against a corrupt county and officials who are trying to steal his grandfather's 10,000 acre ranch here in South Dakota right out from under him. They created a false will, and they are using the courts to just bleed this young man dry and to use every tactic in their arsenal to do it. They have lied. They have perjured themselves. They have committed a treasure trove of felonies to try and silence this young man and to get him to give up his rights to that land and to his family's legacy. So I feel you 100% on everything that you're saying. And we've had some great discussions on our Patriot Broadcasting Project, our sister station, about just those things. I think we're going to have you back. So can you pronounce your name for me? I usually do this beforehand, but I've been doing the intro. So is it Coughlan?
Coughlan is the way I pronounce it. Like a lot of people would know it as Coughlan, because it's like even around Ireland, I'm from Cork, even County Cork is Coughlan. Everywhere else is Coughlan, but it's a city thing. It's Coughlan. So kind of grew up with Coughlan, so I stick with it. My brother changed his name. He just got sick of people saying Coughlan, but I don't mind. At the end of the day, it's Roy. That's the most important thing.
Right. Well, I apologize for getting your name wrong
good.
Off the top of the show. Yeah. And in America, it looks like Coughlan to me. So that's how exactly. Beautiful stuff, man. Well, not to distract us. You've built some amazing podcasts, and for me, I'm relatively new to the space. But this year, I was awarded a Content Creator of the Year award because I dove in and I supported the communities that I was in. I'm a songwriter myself, a member of the Midwest Country Music Organization, and when I started the podcast, I just started putting a microphone in all those musicians' faces and saying, "Hey, welcome to the scene. Tell me about your music." You spoke a little bit about the start of some of your podcasts, and they've all reached that top echelon. How does someone in this space, is it the content? Is it the production of it? What is it that really sets your shows apart and has allowed you to achieve that level of success?
There's a few things. And one, I think your success is your energy levels, because I think people pick up on the energy. And I think, that because I've even listened to episodes, before coming on, and it's like, it's entertaining, where some people you're listening and, it's like, it's painful. So that's the most important thing, is have an engaging conversation, because people will come back. And if they really like it, they'll share it with a few people. The thing is, a lot of times people, they'll prepare the time for their podcast. They might do questions and different things. Okay, what we discuss, and then they're going on to the next one. And you have to spend time marketing. And like, one, shorts definitely helps. So you kind of, some people outsource it. I've done over 1,700 shows. I edit every single one myself, because I understand the content better than anyone that I could outsource that. Plus, I like listening again anyway. So then I create the timestamps. They're going in shorts. And what's important is, like, for you, if you're talking about music, like, sometimes you might just say, I'll put it on a Facebook group, I'll put it on LinkedIn or whatever. Where you need to be is where your listeners are, who's interested in music. So you find Facebook groups that are music related, and you start joining all them, and then engaging and sharing your content in, because there are people that appreciate music. And I mean, say the Polish one, I'm in, I think, 48 groups, like Polish in Chicago, they're big there. There's Polish in Ireland, Polish in the UK. And then I share
the Chicago area. We got plenty of Polacks over there.
Exactly. So when I do that, it's going to the right listeners. And what happens is, a lot of Poles, they go there and they marry local. So they're hoping that they'll start learning the language, which, so it mightn't even be the person. It could be a Pole that's listening and going, hey, you need to listen to this, or they want their kids to learn. So I'm in the right groups. Hence, I mean, that's got, between the audio and the videos, like over 3 million views. And it's because of that. And the thing is, if you're in Facebook groups as well, if people give it a like, a heart, a thumb, you can click on that and then invite them to your page. Most people don't do that. It takes a few seconds. And I just do it daily. Just quick, the comments, just go in, invite. A certain percentage will, and then it just keeps growing. So then when you're posting new content, they're seeing it as well. And you'll see it's nearly always the same people then are actually liking it, which in turn shows Facebook or whatever platform you're on, hey, this is of interest, and it starts blasting it out to more people. So kind of doing things like that. Video-wise, I mean, I'm on a few channels. I mean, on YouTube, I'm on BitChute and Rumble. Most people don't even know about them. Like, my Awakening has nearly 500,000 on BitChute. So there's other video channels that can get you good numbers. And it's just a case of doing that. It's just being consistent. And if you can, like, the Polish one is the best example. I used to do it Monday and Wednesday at the same time every day. I put them out. The others are haphazard, because I have 6 shows, and it's like, it's just, I wish but if you can say, all right, I'm putting out my shows on this day and this day, because the ones I listen to, like, I listen to Blind Boy, it's just audio only. Every Wednesday morning, I know it's there. And it's like, shame on me for not doing that with all of them, because people then go, okay, every Saturday or every Wednesday, he's going to release an episode. I'm still getting them out weekly, but if you can, it really benefits, because your listeners will go, all right, we know there's something coming, and they're looking forward to it.
It's about building listener habits, right?
Yeah,
and for
exactly.
me, I'm big on community. So through our website, we have a smaller community. We can make our own from there. I'm in a ton of Facebook groups. I run several Facebook groups of my own. But I've always been very good at networking with other people like me, whether it's our Midwest Original Music Organization, which has almost 500 and some members, or it's our, Scene Projects group, which is really just to invite an artist. What I think I fallen to the wayside is connecting with listeners, right? Is really going out and seeking out fans, because so much of the last year of my life, Roy, was just in, what is content? What is our content? What is our voice? What do we want to talk about? And I myself have 5 or 6 shows now as well, Roy. It's just kind of an addiction at this point, because each show speaks to a little bit different audience. And now this year, and I just had a great conversation with a huge podcast guru, I guess I would call him, Phil Better. Phil taught me a lot of the same things you're saying here. Go engage with these people. Go find out where your fans and your listeners are, and go engage with them and start to introduce them to this content. And now that we're, 18 months in, we have over 250 episodes that are out on our network. We have 900 plus uploads on our YouTube page. There's plenty of content to go back and find. And that's what's actually going to generate a lot of our numbers in the future, is that people will be able to come into our world, find us because of one piece of content, but then go back and find all of the other ones as well and start to get served that. So a little bit of consistency, right? Engaging, but then also building a routine, right? The regular posting. And that's where we've been a lot better this year, is being on a schedule of when certain shows are coming out and just building that system in, and then sticking to it, of course, is its own animal.
And do the same for like connecting with the community, because you don't want it that you're just constantly going in and out. Like, I do these things in the morning, so whether it's Spotify, sometimes people now can comment on that, or YouTube, and just go in and check your Facebook groups, just have a little comment. And if somebody gives a nice comment on YouTube, give a heart at least, and so you're just saying, hey, I hear you. But just do it like whatever time suits you, but set aside whether it's 10 minutes or 30 minutes, but not, because I see people and they just kind of have notifications and stuff like that. You get nothing done if you have your phone beeping. So set times, like I said, but the thing, schedule everything. And that way, then you systemize the whole process, and then you just see it building. And once you see it building and more engagement, it gives you more fuel to keep going.
Exactly. And something you touched on there, that as podcasters, we want to be seen and heard, right? We want those listeners, but listeners and viewers also want to feel like they are seen and heard. And that is what is so important. And that's why podcasting is changing the world, because it provides that environment. It's real conversations. It's truth. It is not put into a box to be delivered on a 90-second segment on a news program. So you can really have some great conversations and get this. I say it all the time on our show that this is how God is speaking through us. Whether you're religious or not, source, you can call it whatever you want. This is how the world is healing, is through this media and through this form of communication. So really appreciate you kind of reiterating a lot of the things that our fans hear us say a lot. From someone who's had so much success in this industry, a lot of people who are watching and around us are becoming podcasters themselves. I say it's my mission, Roy, to get people off of the sidelines and into the game. My audacious goal is to start 1 million podcasters on this journey, and doing everything in my power to set them on the right path, not to just say, oh, you should have a podcast, push them in the pool and walk away.
Yeah. And the thing is, a lot of people, they fear it. So I'm not a technical person. What you can do is you can have a microphone that's a USB goes into it. Some people have mixers and everything, and that's okay. But as far as editing, uploading, it's simple. And I cater for budgets as well. Sometimes people, they're down on their luck. I created videos, workshops that people can go in and look. They can start.
Nobody knows more about being down on their luck than you, Roy.
So I'm always conscious of that. And it's like, yeah, if you want to pay to go through it and do it at a different level, that's okay. Some people can, but there's others can't. And you can do it without paying.
Free version of Zoom and YouTube and be on your way for no money, and to just start having conversations. And that's what I encourage everyone to do, is just hit record and go. And before you know it, you could be like Roy with 6, shows in the top 0.5% of their categories, and to just be doing it. But it's a lot of work, and I'll never deny that. We've worked our butts off to get where we're at in this world, and we are nowhere close to the level that you've achieved. So, Roy, I want to thank you for your time today. I know you have another meeting. I have another one as well, The Life of a Podcaster. Go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you and where they can find your shows.
Yeah, so they can just go to my name, roycoughlan.com, and they'll find the 6 shows, as well as everything else. If they're interested in virtual assistants, va.world, but they'll find all the 6 shows on Roy Coughlan, that's COUGHLAN.com.
Well, fantastic, Roy. I appreciate you taking some time for us today, and I appreciate you being part of the scene. Thank you so much.
No, thank you very much. And what I would encourage the listeners, because they don't realize how important it is, make sure they give you a thumbs up, a 5-star rating, and share with your friends. If it's Spotify, you hit the 3 dots, you can give a 5-star rating. If it's Apple, you just scroll down a bit, give the 5-star, but also give a comment, because we see it, we appreciate it, and Bubba will really, really like it, because it gets it out to more people.
Thanks for that, Roy.